David, can you talk a little bit about your collection?
Well, my collection, actually, what you see in the back is a projection of what comes for autumn, winter, the next fall collection. So, in the fashion industry, designers and manufacturers, we usually are 6 months in advance to actually dictate, or I wouldn't say dictate because nobody does that anymore. It's not a good word. In order for us to suggest the trends that will be coming out for the fall and winter. And so this particular displays in the back is our projection of color, of style that will be, more or less the kind of trend that will be going on for the fall season. So I've been doing this for sourcing at Magic every season, spring, summer, fall, winter, every August and February. We always do the display, and since I'm the only established designer in Nevada, and they always hold it in Nevada, I am the designer that they always use to do the exhibit for like the directions of the trends and the colors.
What is the significance living in Nevada as a most powerful designer in that space? Like, what is the advantages? What are disadvantages?
It's hot in the summertime. I'm sure you're experiencing that now. But then, we're in the desert, so it's either very cold or very hot. But then the summer season is just 2 months in a year. So if you live here, you get used to it. But then otherwise, I think, living in New York City and living in Los Angeles, which both of the cities I love, living in Nevada for me, is the best move I've ever done. Why? Because we don't have state tax.
As a designer, as a fashion, why Magic and Couture, all the shows do it here? What's the advantage of having home base, like you staying here? Do you have more opportunities because you are here consistently versus others come and go?
Well, as you know, Las Vegas is the convention, of the world. Everybody comes here because because.
How do you monetize that? How do you get adventure in?
Well, majority of, like, for example, I would say, like, just today, about 160,000 people registered to come here. And that's people from all over the world. I'm not only talking about the United States, but that's people from all over the world. And these are people who are just coming. They're the ones who looking for sources. It doesn't include the vendors. So that's another 16,000 people in the vendor. So this is the place where you're going to see, if you're a designer, for example, and you need your designs manufactured, then this is where you can all the countries are represented here who are manufacturing, from China to Pakistan to Turkey to all those particular places that labor is cheaper, of course, abroad than making it here in the United States. Although my collection is all done here in the US. I'm one of the designers in the United States that still manufacture in the USA.
David, what about the opportunities, like, for you as a designer to move to CFDA designers? How do you deal with Condé Nast? How do you move to the next level to become mainstream designer in Bloomingdale's, in Saks Fifth Avenue? How do you acquire that distribution?
So it's branding. I think when you establish your name, yes. Branding is like a different version of advertising. When we do Fashion Week, for example, New York, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to sell whatever I show. But then because the press, you're there, and all the press is there, they remember my name. You know what I'm saying? So it helps your brand. So actually doing Fashion Week, for example, in New York or LA or Miami or here in Vegas, it puts your brand in the mainstream, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, we do that, designers do that, because it's the same thing. You advertise in magazines.
How do you? Art Heart is an amazing show. Eric, I love Eric. Great job doing. But how is it possible? How the way to graduate to next level to show at Canoe Studios? How to move to the union, become like CFDA, like a council of designers?
Okay. Well, you can be part of the CFDA, but the CFDA, has a certain criteria. In order for you to be a member, you should already be established, in a sense.
Are you established? I think so.
Well, I hope so. I mean, if you dress up some of the biggest stars in the world, I guess you're established. But the thing there is that there are different kinds of designers, and I'm